Ladies and gentlemen, turn your speakers up. It's time for the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. Turn up the bass. A podcast discussing all things AEW and WWE. Oh yeah! Let's meet the hosts. First, a man hailing from the hub city in Indiana. He goes by @TooSweetKyle on Twitter. The host, Kyle Gagliardi. And your co-host, hailing from the valley of Lake Tahoe. He goes by @JimTuck89 on Twitter. Jim Tucker. And last but not least, hailing from the cornfield somewhere in Indiana, the full-time part-timer, Ian Garavaglia. Turn up the bass. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram @PodOnTheMark.
What is going on, everyone? You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Marks, for the Marks, and I'm your host, Mr. OTM Kyle Gagliardi. And joining me this evening is my good friend, Ian Garavaglia, the full-time part-timer. What's up, dog?
What's up, dog? I'm gonna be honest. Need some lively action out of the crowd today. I am very tired. It is 9:00 at night, which it sounds like, what are you,
Old
like
ass.
50 years old?
How old are you? 22?
Well, here's the thing. I'm usually a late guy, but no nap after work today. Mono is still kicking me in the tired department, so we're pushing through. Got a Coors Light, not sponsored, by the way. Please do. What? But we're here. I'm excited for tonight because we got a lot to talk about.
We do got a lot to talk about. Obviously, the Elimination Chamber PLE is on the horizon. And I know I promised the OTM universe that we would be joined by Jim Tucker as well this evening, but I can't guarantee everything sometimes, guys, because he's not here right now. But I will say this before anybody asks any questions. Yes, these headphones are different. My AirPods are not working. I look like Ahmed Khan from Backyard Baseball. You're just going to have to deal with it, okay? And Ian, we had this discussion beforehand. You said you're not an Ahmed Khan guy. Nope. I have to see if my good friend Jim Tucker, or as I like to call him, Tucky!
What's going on, boy? I'm tired.
Same.
Guys, that's not good. That's what Ian just said, Todd.
I'm sleep deprived. Augie's been slapping me in the dick at 2 a.m. and Mr. took the night shift, but I'm going on 17 hours up right now. You know, baseball practice has been electric. Year's off to a great start. School's back. We're happening. Life is good. A lot of good wrestling going on. I'm excited to be here, and I've been home about 4 minutes, and here we are. Life is good.
Look at the dedication from the dad over here.
Absolutely.
Ian.
I was going to say, I feel like an absolute bitch now for complaining. I'm actually lively. I'm feeling very good. I could run a marathon right now. I could not do that.
No, you're still recovering, you know?
Back in the gym Saturday. So we're going to be back. We're going to be back.
Well, it's good to see that the chat is very lively tonight. I appreciate you guys coming to hang out. Obviously, we had to start a little later because we wanted to be reunited, and it feels so good to be reunited here for this PLE. But, guys, we do have a lot. See, you saw where I was going with that.
Yes.
There it is. Okay.
Check back the audio or the video. I did mouth the words to that song.
You did know that song?
I did. Yeah, I feel like everybody in this chat should know that song. It's a good song.
I'm not checking the video back.
Okay, I understand.
I ain't going to be there unless it gets clipped by our AI. Then we'll
possibility.
So you better say some good stuff this episode, and maybe AI will clip you. But we have a lot of housekeeping to get to before we get into the Elimination Chamber, guys. I don't know if you saw the news, but there is a new live show coming to the Main Event Wrestling Network, and that is going to be hosted by myself and 1/3 of the Indie Wrestling Guide, Jay Gold, and it is called NXT Night Shift. We just created our socials today, so if you want to give us a follow, we are on X at NXT Night Shift. Ian, I was able to talk to you behind the scenes a little bit about this show. You helped us brainstorm a little bit of what we were gonna do, every single week during our live streams, what we could name the show. What's the overall excitement like in the network right now for this?
Well, I'm very excited because, as you know, I listen to podcasts, especially when I'm in the office. And as you also know, I don't watch NXT. So this is going to be perfect for me, especially because I know both of you guys. Obviously, I talk to you every single week on this podcast. Very fantastic talker. And then Jay Gold was just on the podcast. Another fantastic talker. So I'm genuinely very excited because as you said, NXT is arguably the hottest brand, and not a lot of representation for NXT around the main event wrestling network. But yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Tuck, did you see that news? New show coming to the network.
Yeah, that's dope. I'm excited to listen.
I'm
not gonna be on it. What's that? I have time for podcasts. I just don't have time for anything
guest
else.
appearances.
And the weather's getting nice out here, so the morning runs via podcast are gonna be back soon. So
hey, that's
looking forward to it.
Yeah, looking forward to that, I'm sure. Starting a show when NXT is on fire is going to be a great watch. Yeah, that was the idea behind that, Robbie. But also, guys, coming up this weekend, actually this Saturday, right before the Elimination Chamber, will be episode 18 of the Main Event Mixer. A full cast of characters is going to be a loaded show. I believe there is 6 people on tap. It's 2 hours before Elimination Chamber. We got Tino. We got Paperclip Mike making his debut. The Great Brown Hope's going to be there. Jay Gold, Mr. Cincinnati. Guys, I don't know what I'm going to do. That's a lot.
You're not going to be able to talk, which I don't know what to do with my hands. Oh, yeah.
I'll be the producer behind the scenes because I'll be watching Elimination Chamber with you, buddy. How about
that? Is true.
That?
Yeah, I'll be back in the hometown of Couts, or some people would call Coots. So I'm excited.
Go Mustangs.
Ride.
Who calls like Coots?
I've heard it many a times before.
Really?
It is.
It is a thing.
It is a thing. It's not
like
a great thing, but it is a thing.
Yeah.
Anybody painting the water tower out there lately, Ian?
I don't know. We're going to find out this weekend. I'll report back to you.
Well, if the water tower gets painted this weekend, Gags, we know. It would be Ian. He's the guy.
No comment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no comment. We'll move past that one, boys.
Yeah, we'll gloss over that one a little bit. Great Brown Hope asks, is Gags growing a heel-turn beard? I've always had a beard.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been a while.
The headphones really bring it out.
I guess it's opening up my face more. I don't know. Are any of you guys watching LFG? Ian and I are. Tuck, have you been watching?
Yeah, I'm through. Is there only 2 episodes out? I've watched the first 2. Yeah, so I am up to. I did not watch the first one on time. I watched the second one Sunday. I will not be on time for Elimination Chamber this week. I'm doing a little JV head coaching this weekend. So our JV coach that had a prearranged trip. He's the head coach, but he was like, "Hey, can I just be the head coach and not come to this one weekend thing?" And so the varsity coaches are covering it. So I'm excited to get down with the younger group. Good turnout for us. But in regards to LFG for baseball season, LFG fun show so far.
Yeah, Ian.
And names. There names from the show. Names from the show that popped up with the Los Angeles WrestleMania.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Zena Sterling was one of them. Sexy BJ Ray. Ian, I know you have been texting during it. Yeah, he's a good heel though, isn't he, Ian? Sexy BJ Ray.
We kind of joke about him being the knockoff MJF, but he could be. Obviously they're doing a great job with the whole
BJR.
They're doing a great job with the whole kayfabe thing with the show, which I was kind of worried about, but I think they're playing it pretty well, especially BJ Ray. So I'm excited to see what they do with him.
Shiloh Hill is absolutely incredible. Kind says, yeah, he's pretty solid. There's a lot of talent in there, for sure.
I already told you boys, but yeah, Shiloh Hill just likes random. He must be a Cubs fan because he randomly liked 2 of my tweets about the Cubs. Had no interaction with his Twitter account, but hey, shout out Shiloh Hill. It's my guy.
Well, Ian over.
Yeah, popped up randomly.
Ian might have more followers than that guy.
No,
that was a dig. Sergio's in the house. Oh no, here he is again. Here's the man that knows Triple H personally.
Best friends.
Did you know this, that Sergio knows Triple H?
I don't know what we're talking about.
You didn't watch last week's podcast then.
Yeah, well, not all the time in the world here.
Okay.
Between fatherhood, coaching, and passing out in a latte art class, being picked up by an ambulance.
Excuse me?
Yeah. So you saw the snap before I went to the latte art class. Ladies and gentlemen, I went to a latte art class, and 30 minutes in, blacked out, passed out to the floor, and woke up with an ambulance in the parking lot. I had like 4 beers, and I was on 2 donuts, and I was up since 6 a.m. getting 32,000 steps in. So all my levels were good. I got a video I'll show you after. It's wild. For the Patreon fans, I'll show you the security cam footage of me blacking out in the latte art class, and then they let me drive home.
When were we going to find out about this? You were just waiting for the podcast to tell us?
It's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened in my life.
That's not embarrassing. That scared me. I was worried about you there for a second.
Yeah, so was my wife. I found out she finally loved me. Yeah.
Oh my God!
You just frightened me and Ian live, and we see you. We know you're okay. So,
well,
thanks.
I was not eliminated, but the Elimination Chamber is coming up this weekend. Excited to talk about it.
We do got a promo code going on at the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.com. Tuck, what are some of the things that they could find on our website?
You can find that tapestry behind Kyle's left shoulder. You get that OTM shirt that Ian's wearing. You can't find the OTM centric thong that Ian's wearing. That's not on the store yet, but we got coffee mugs. We have things. At the bottom line, what we have is multiple opportunities for you to support this podcast in many shapes and sizes. And so every purchase contribution on the markwrestlingpodcast.com helps us pay the bills. It softens the pockets a little bit.
That's right. And Ian, what's that code that they're going to save 10% this week?
Well, it's pretty easy because if you just look at the WWE PLE and just look at the first word, it's called chamber. Wait, no, it's second word.
That's the second word. Botch! No! Now we can't sell any merch.
Oh!
This guy stinks.
I don't know.
it's going so well.
Well, we might have to cancel the podcast, and that's why I started NXT. I'm already forgetting my show's name.
Bye.
Tuck, you've been partying like an 80s wrestler, according to our MVM, which is fair.
No, I'm getting older. And so waking up early and moving my butt and not eating. We had 2 tryouts that day. I shot back 100 gallons of water off the field. And we're back. I remember everything. The scary part, I was out cold for like 30 seconds with my eyes open and my arms straight, kind of zombie mode. So missed the called 911, and all my levels were good. It was just sometimes I have a tendency to overdo it. Fitness. It's always fitness season. I've had, it's exciting though. Yeah, I'm all good. Thank you guys.
The chat
I'm
was very concerned too.
finally getting it off my chest because it was for like 3 or 4 days. It was the loneliest. I've just so embarrassed that I ruined, mostly because I ruined another one of my wife's things. I am really good at being selfish and attitudinal at the things that she creates or wants to do. And I was invested. You saw the snaps prior. I was excited to have a good time. And then I
got a little too excited.
$38 at Taco Bell on Grubhub after though. So that was solid.
Ooh.
So if you want to help us pay for Tucky's hospital bills, or maybe pay for his DoorDash, hit that subscribe button because we are on the road.
Oh, dude, I didn't even think of that. So we probably have to pay for that ambulance.
You owe J. Cole a figure, by the way.
Yeah, I need an address. It's sitting right here.
Okay.
I will certainly get on that if I have dropped the ball on that. But that certainly not on the mark.
Wow, that comment from Bill Moss. Ian is the Sin Cara of OTM now.
The long day, the chaos
Late
after
start.
practice to get here.
Yeah.
We started this thing tired, but we are off to a hot start with the On the Mark Wrestling community,
now.
and I think everyone's here for a good Ian roast.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it
for sure. Oh, there you go. He said better to be Sin Cara than Tongaloa. So
I'll take it.
Could be true.
Which Sin Cara though? Azul or what was the other one? Whatever the other one's name was.
Negro, I think it was.
What?
One of the
It really was. Yeah, like he had like a black outfit and a red.
Yeah,
outfit.
he was a black. Yeah, it was black
Yeah.
versus blue.
Yeah, that's what it was. I'm pretty sure. I'm not saying anything Racist, Tuck. I'm not that guy, pal.
I didn't say a word. I just
Don't
made
put that
point.
on me. This ain't Hulk Hogan, brother. Let's get into Elimination Chamber, and let's talk about how somebody might have their soul stolen by the CEO of the company. We found out last week on SmackDown, The Rock wants Cody to sell his soul to him, and he said he's going to be in Toronto at the Elimination Chamber. So this is going down here this Saturday. Obviously going to be a promo segment. Tuck, first off, when you saw this segment on SmackDown, what was your initial reaction? Because the internet was, 50-50, I would say, on this here.
No, where he was like, I want your soul. They left too much on the table. I think it was very unclear coming out of SmackDown to me. I want your soul. I don't want that title of the most meaningful thing in the company. I want your soul. And so I don't. The Monday thing with they really tried on Raw to sell what that actually meant. You know what I mean? I don't know where it's going, but I am interested. It's The Rock and Cody Rhodes.
Ian, how you feeling about this?
First off, about the promo, we were live texting at that point, and it was weird. And it again, I think the line of "I want your soul" was kind of misinterpreted and not delivered very well.
I would agree.
And it just felt weird because it was like everyone took it literally. Like, what do you mean take his soul? If you would have said, "I want you to sell your soul," or along those lines, then you could have gotten along.
Mark Calloway.
I don't know. It just felt weird at the time, and it took more thinking to say like, "Oh, I get what he's saying." It just felt weird in the moment, but yeah, the promo was kind of awkward at times. Again, could have just been me, but at the end of the day, I like what they're laying out on the table for this. And it's invested me. I'm excited to see what happens and plays out, which is the point.
That is the point of all this. And I agree with what the chat is saying. A lot of rambling from The Rock. It felt like that could have been cut down 5 to 10 minutes. He was just filling time, obviously. And that's another topic for another day, an issue, obviously, with Friday Night SmackDown. It is definitely, the least important show right now in the WWE schedule, at least in my opinion it is. But, regardless of the rambling from The Rock, like Ian was saying, it just creates more question marks on the road to WrestleMania, because obviously what he is asking of Cody when he's asking for his soul is basically for him to become a corporate champion. A corporate sellout, get all the followers. That's why he brought up his social media following and all that. He wants, Cody to be exactly like The Rock. Now, obviously, it's probably not going to happen. I'm assuming that's what this segment is all about, Tuck. Cody's probably going to decline it, say no, and I'm not sure where they go from there, though, is the question.
Yeah, I certainly want to tune in to find out. Like I said, it's The Rock and Cody. So it makes I think it does make the pay-per-view a little more compelling. Not that it's a bad card or anything, but it is something to also watch Elimination Chamber for.
100%. And speaking of him talking about the crackheads in the crowd, Ian, I don't know if you would agree with me here. I hate how he was kind of like teetering that line of I'm going to act like a heel, but then I'm going to act like a babyface another minute. To Cody. Like, we're friends and shit. What is that?
I don't know. Also, I think The Rock kind of needs to evolve his heel side, because the playful calling out the crowd and calling them funny names that's what The Rock did when he was a face, and when people when he was a heel, but people loved him for it, and that's how he got so famous and so popular with the fans. And it feels weird nowadays, because it's like, oh, haha, that's really funny. Okay. And then he's supposed to, show an actual heel side character in the ring with Cody. That back and forth on paper, it's like, yeah, he's a heel the entire time, but that's not The Rock being a heel when he's calling out the crowd. That's The Rock being The Rock that we all know and love.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, Cody's not going to say yes here. That's obvious. But the real thing is, where is it positioned on the card? Do they do this before the men's elimination chamber or after? Because if it's after the elimination chamber and we know who Cody Rhodes is going to be facing, I think that makes the dynamic even more interesting.
I agree.
I could see it both ways too. I mean, if they shock the world and Cody does sell his soul, and it's before the Elimination Chamber match, holy shit, we have a brand new match when We didn't even know who the winner was going to be in the first place.
Well, I think if that is the case, if Cody were to hypothetically sell his soul at the Elimination Chamber and just turn right there, which is not going to happen, then I think that telegraphs the fact that that will definitely be a huge babyface winning the men's Elimination Chamber. And you know who the biggest babyface of all time is? He's in that
Logan Paul?
Elimination Chamber. I know I'm wearing my Cleveland SummerSlam hat, and he's from Cleveland, but no, not Logan Paul. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting segment. We all know Cody's going to say no. It's just going to be, intriguing to see where it's positioned on the card on Saturday for sure. 3 comments trickling in. Let's get to the comment section really quick. Robbie said, do it before the men's chamber, and then The Rock has some shenanigans with possibly Punk or McIntyre. Yeah, I could see it. Kind says, Cody says no. Then we get Drew selling his soul. Could be absolutely incredible from a storyline perspective, and Drew could finally get his chance to be pushed and reclaim the title. Ian, you like that?
I like it. I think Drew's always been there, and we've talked about it so many times, and I guess you could say he had his big moment at Mania, but everyone kind of knows it was a very short reign as the champion there, and yes, it was awesome for the first, 2 minutes that he was champion, but, I mean, against Cody, though, I don't know. I think there's better stories to tell at Mania. If he sold his soul and it was anybody else but Cody, who already has these stories out there, sure.
Does the Great Brown Hope just, comment these things to get a reaction? Or is he
absolutely.
Serious? Okay,
absolutely.
We're not giving him a reaction then this time. And to Tony, I agree with you, and that will play into when we talk about the men's Elimination Chamber a little later. That could be the direction for Drew McIntyre. But hey, there's a lot of options here. There are a lot of people that could potentially sell their souls for a Mania match if Cody Rhodes does say no. I guess we'll find out here in about 48 hours. But let's get to the actual match card here. We got Tiffany Stratton, the women's champion, teaming up with one of the GOATs, Trish Stratus, in her hometown of Toronto to take on the team of Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Ian, I'm going to go to you first on this one. I think it's a pretty safe pick.
Yeah, I just want to start this one off by saying I really could give 2 less shits about this match.
Wow.
And it sucks because I like all 4 of these women, but this is going to be my piss break match, and it's kind of sad. I will be watching, but I don't know. It doesn't feel big at all.
It's not.
It's to get Trish in the ring, yes. It's to get that Toronto crowd behind her. It's just I guess it might just be I personally didn't grow up with Trish Stratus, so that might be it. Might be as simple as that.
Tuck, what do you think? You're a little older than Ian is. I think you could appreciate Trish. Thank you, Trish. We were thanking her the last couple of years.
Yeah, Trish Stratus was part of my watching era in the younger years, and I think one person does win, 2 people can win in this match in regards to going over. Tiffany now has a match on her card teaming with Trish Stratus. She is with an icon. And also Candice LeRae can do something here. It's an opportunity to establish Candice LeRae further. I think I don't predict that. But it's a possibility.
It's an
those are my 2 things that I'm kind of watching for here. Will it be my piss break match? Yeah. When I sit down, I'll engage with it. I'm not offended by it. It makes sense.
No.
My enthusiasm for it is not nearly as high as it is for some others on the card.
Yeah, is it going to be fun? Sure. And it's just really there to pop the home crowd, I would think, and to elevate Tiffany Stratton a little bit. Yeah. Robbie asked, why couldn't we just had Trish versus Tiffany? We still could get there.
Well, you don't want Trish to lose at home. Well, they're on the same way, and then there's the backdoor opportunity to create a rivalry out of it potentially if you want to go that way too. More options with the tag here, less of a work rate for Trish. Could be a concern.
Ian, did you have something else?
Yeah, I would be worried about the quality of the match. I don't know if that's a dickhead thing of me to say, but
hey, Trish has been solid in ringing every time she returns.
Yeah, but against Tiffany, I mean, that's a lot of weight on Tiffany's shoulders there to carry her or not. Maybe not even carry her through a match. I don't know. That's my first thought.
There's a lot of weight on Tiffany's shoulders in general right now.
Yeah, that is true.
Kind of like what Tony said, that promo last week wasn't that good, and she's got to step up against, in my opinion, the greatest women's wrestler of all time at WrestleMania. So this is where we're really going to find out what Tiffany Stratton is all about. It's obvious, though, who's going to win. I don't even think I have to ask you guys for your official picks. We're all going to go with Tiffany and Trish to go over in this situation. But going off of what you were saying, Tuck, I do want more for Candice LeRae. And it is an opportunity here, but she's obviously not the focal point because this is basically just the Tiffany, Trish, and Nia showcase, which is unfortunate.
Yep.
Tony asked, my question is, where does it leave Nia? Which is a good question. Not everyone can be at Mania, even with 2 nights, but she was a warrior in that division this year. You know what, Ian, I don't know if you would agree with me, Tuck, you either. They could go for tag gold.
Yeah.
That's something, right?
Yeah,
and like Great Brown Hope said, if they win here and get an upset win over Tiffany and Trish, then they definitely could get tag title opportunities.
I mean, even if they lose, I don't think it's WWE is not a big win-loss company. I mean, if they lose, it's true. I think they're okay. Nia Jax is still the formidable force, and then Candice LeRae. I think you just got to build Candice LeRae just a little bit. This needs to be the Candice LeRae showcase match a little bit.
Chad definitely agrees. And look who's in the house, but he's on YouTube, so I'm not sure if it's the real Dirk, but Dirk in general, it's a great name.
Well, anybody named Dirk sounds like a stand-up individual.
What a name, right? Dirk Van Fleet.
We started an hour late, and he still is 25 minutes into the chat. Dirk's dedicated to this shit. I love it. But he did give us a boing in the chat. I don't know what boing has to do with anything, but glad to see that Dirk is excited about the Elimination Chamber on Saturday. Well, that's a good cue to move on right there to the next match.
What way? In what way is that a good cue?
Well, it's a cue. It means it's time to move on to the Women's Elimination Chamber. As you can see on the screen right now, the participants will be Roxanne Perez, Bayley, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, and the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair. And this one just got even a little bit more interesting because if you watched Monday Night Raw, you know that Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan became the 3-time women's tag team champions by defeating Naomi and Bianca for their tag titles. So, Bianca's going to be looking for revenge, and I think she's probably the odds-on favorite here. But what I like to do in these chambers, and Tuck, I think we've done this in the past, is kind of just do a little bit of a power ranking on who you think is most likely to win this. I'm not asking for your prediction, but tell me, who's the favorite in your eyes?
Pull the graphic back up if you don't mind. There it is. Okay. The favorite, in my opinion, is Bianca Belair.
Facts.
Ian, I just love her. I
would not agree.
Oh, okay. Tuck, go on.
She's my favorite. What happens here is the Bianca Naomi Jade of it all going to set something up. Right. Is one of those 6 women going to be the challenger? There's some intrigue. Does Liv Morgan just retain? Is she? I think of who's most Mania main event title match ready. Bayley's interesting. Yeah. Bianca Belair's interesting.
There's a case for all of them.
Yeah, I think Roxanne has the least case, being that she's from NXT. For me, Alexa Bliss is over, but I don't love her, and so I don't know.
I think an issue with Alexa Bliss too is she is on SmackDown, and the winner of this match is going to face Rhea Ripley, who's on Raw. I don't know if you care too much about the brand. Some people do, but that's the reason I count out Alexa Bliss. But Ian, you surprised me because you do not think Bianca Belair is the favorite in this match.
Well, so the way I broke this list down of all the competitors is I did a process of elimination. Obviously, you have the tag team of Bianca Belair and Naomi. I think that is Mania bound. I think that feud is Mania bound, and I think they should be out of it. Does Jade Cargill show up this weekend?
That's a big question.
That's kind of where my head is at right away, and this could easily turn into a really good triple threat match at Mania with a lot of steam behind it. Again, That was two of them eliminated, Naomi and Bianca. Again, I get it. On paper, Bianca is the most talented in the ring. Should possibly win it. Second would probably be Bayley, just talent-wise. Bayley is the, I guess, third to last in my power rankings here. It's, yes, okay, awesome. That if all else fails, you go to Bayley. And it's always kind of been like that for Bayley's career. She's fantastic.
She's unreliable.
Exactly. However, if you're wanting to give a Mania match with Rhea Ripley and sell it like a big Mania match, you just throw Bayley out there, especially right now with her character.
Right.
I don't know. It doesn't sell. It doesn't
nice.
sell it to me. Yeah, it doesn't sell it for me. I think Bayley's she's gotten into a little bit of a stale moment here. She needs a little something to spark up her character. Eliminated. Liv Morgan. That is next.
Chance.
We've seen it before.
Yeah.
We have. And I think Triple H is smart enough not to do it again and go into the well again. I hope. Again, Liv and Rhea would kick ass at Mania. Absolutely. But the build-up to it would be... I don't think it would be great because we'd be going down the same road went through the past year. Next is Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez, if she ends up winning this whole damn thing and solidifying herself as a A-plus talent in the eyes of the WWE fans, wow, there you go, right there. We all know she's good, but only the tryhards in wrestling fandom know she's good. Not everyone watches NXT, so I understand not everyone wanting to see her win or do well. Again, that one's a shot in the dark, but here's my biggest shot in the dark. I have Alexa Bliss winning.
Oh.
Here's the thing. We don't have a full grasp on her character. However, we still have some time going into Mania. She still has the heat of the fans. Everyone loves Alexa Bliss. They love the return. But she's been quiet, been dark, hasn't really said much, explained her character. I get the whole brand crossing thing, but you know who else doesn't care about the whole brand crossing thing? WWE Creative. Yeah. They don't give a shit about it either. So, again, this is a shot in the dark. I don't want to go down the normal paths of everything. So, hate me all you want, but I got Alexa Bliss winning this thing because we all know that Rhea Ripley is very good with the whole big versus small matchups. I think this match could kick ass at Mania and the build-up too.
You know, you did explain yourself very well there. I can't hate on it, even though I'm not a big fan of Alexa Bliss. I get it. When I break down this match, I agree with you guys. I don't think Liv Morgan should win, but I think she's in consideration. She's probably number 2 if I were to power rank, because I know the chat isn't going to agree with this because we got Liv Morgan in the chat and everybody agreeing with it. In ring-wise, Liv Morgan has been the best in-ring worker on the main roster for the past couple months. Agreed. I'm not saying like a year, but the past couple months, her tag matches have been outstanding. She stepped up to Io Sky on main event. Great match. Great matches with Rhea Ripley. I was a Liv Morgan hater at the beginning, but man, she has proven that she can go in the ring, so you can't count her out. Naomi, unfortunately, I am counting out because if I look over to my right and I see my hypothetical WrestleMania card, I got Naomi taking on Jade Cargill at WrestleMania, so that cancels her out. She ain't winning. Roxanne and Bayley, they're due. They have been teasing this now for a month. Those two are going to square off at WrestleMania. They're out of the equation. Alexa Bliss, the only reason I'm counting her out is because of the brand split. I know, I agree with you, Ian. It really doesn't matter in the WWE, but it's still real to me, damn it. So I'm counting her out, and I don't want to see Alexa Bliss versus Rhea Ripley, personally. Fair. That's just me. So that leaves one person. The EST, one of the best women's talent ever, Bianca Belair winning. She just lost her title. She has not been in the main event scene for probably over a year now. And this is a main event superstar. Whether she turns heel or not, she needs to get back into the world title scene. And that match against Rhea Ripley is something that we have wanted ever since those two women, I believe, were the final two in the Royal Rumble a couple years ago. And I see you shaking your head. I think we even talked about it on old episodes of OTM. So give me that. Give me the EST versus Mommy at WrestleMania. That's my pick for this women's chamber. Tucky?
Oh, I'm thinking Bianca Belair. But I will agree. I do agree that to the Liv Morgan good at wrestling part. I'm not mad about Liv Morgan matches anymore, and I think I think she's gotten better, but I also think she has a character, a kind of story-related character that makes you maybe look less. I think there are plenty of wrestlers that you look past the in-ring because they're such a dynamic character. And Liv Morgan was very flat for me for a while. So I agree with the Liv Morgan thing. I'm crossing my fingers for Bianca Belair.
Me too, brother. Me too. Bianca versus Rhea at WrestleMania would feed families, as the kids would say. Robbie, this is a good point. He said WWE wouldn't have given her last two in the Rumble if they didn't think Rox could be it. If you follow me on X, you know I'm one of the biggest Roxanne Perez fans. I know she's it. I just don't think she needs to be in that scene just yet. You know, Ian?
Yeah, this match, the Elimination Chamber has always been really good at showcasing talent and getting those high spots to get a talent over. Roxanne Perez is going to be jumping off some shit, and the crowd is going to go insane. So, I mean, regardless if she wins in a huge surprise, again, which would be amazing, it could be received well, could be received poorly by the fans. I think they're going to really showcase Roxanne like they did at the Rumble. So, again, Roxanne's so young. Like, it's going to be okay if she doesn't win. Yeah, be patient, people. It's going to be okay.
But if she did win, I would be happy, and I would be surprised in a good way. Because, like you said, Ian, that's just strapping the rocket right to her and saying, sink or swim, figure it out. You're in the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Your first year. But this is actually a great comment, too, from Tony, because I had this thought process as well. He said the only way that he could see Liv winning is if Io Sky inserted her way and made that a triple threat. Because, let's be real, Io does deserve to be in this chamber. Obviously, she lost her qualifying match, but Io Sky versus Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, that plays, right? Like, Tuck, you wouldn't be mad to see that triple threat.
No, I want to see Bianca and Rhea.
You've always been.
I'm not. I am not unbiased in this. Montez and Bianca.
You're right. You're a writer.
You know. Yeah.
Didn't they have a show? What was that called?
They did have a show. I don't remember the name. It was okay.
It was okay. Oh, so not worth.
I'm
watching.
On it.
No, I'm sure.
You didn't watch it?
No, I don't. I think that one was on Hulu, wasn't it?
Yeah. Love and WWE. Bianca and Montez.
Love and WWE. You did beat the chat. Congrats. Suck it, chat. Bill Moss said I'll be there for that Rhea versus Io match on Raw. Oh, that's next Monday. Hell yeah. Hot Sauce Bill Moss in the house. Hot Sauce Bill Moss, if you bring an OTM sign to the show, I will give you 2 pieces of merch from our merch site for free.
Wow.
For free. But it has to make it on TV. It has to make it on TV. I don't know where he's sitting, though. I think that's fair, right?
I mean, if it gets on TV, yeah, absolutely.
I might give him more than the 2 pieces of merch. Maybe he'll get a figure or something. Who knows? And Doc says, Io has grown on me since she lost the title. She's just so good. Such a cool entrance, too. Io's it. Like, Io's just on the same level as Bianca for me in terms of, like, the best in-ring wrestlers right now.
Yeah,
but, hey,
it's hard to disagree.
Let's move on here to an unsanctioned match. We only got 2 more matches to talk about. It's a shorter card, obviously, but this is going to be between 2 Canadians, 2 best friends, 2 rivals, 2 guys that should just fight forever, and it's Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I mean, what is there to say that hasn't already been said about this one, Tuck? We know the history. I'm just excited for it, man. I don't even know what to ask you other than who do you think is going to come out looking stronger here? Because technically it's not really a match, but I guess there has to be a winner.
And they are promising this one is going to be the hardest of them all, right? The hardest hitting, the most intense. Both guys on upward trajectories right now. I think KO a bit hotter than Sami Zayn, but that gives you the dilemma, right? Do you have KO go over and continue his hot streak, or do you have Sami go over and kind of elevate him again? Does this unsanctioned match lead to a rematch at WrestleMania?
I don't personally think so, but I'll let Ian give his opinion before I get into that.
I'm glad you said that because absolutely, I think this is the match at Mania that if they wrestled 5 times, 7 times, 10 times, 12 times,
more,
I fight forever, literally. Yeah,
I say that too. And where do you send each guy on the way to WrestleMania, which is sometime, but not forever? And this is two Hall of Famers, a Hall of Fame rivalry or feud. I would call it more of a feud because they like each other sometimes. But like, let's get nasty here.
Oh, yeah. Like Robbie's saying, just let them brawl. Maybe Orton will get involved either during or after. I agree with the after comment because that's why I don't think this is going to prolong till WrestleMania, because I see Sami Zayn actually facing off against Karrion Kross at WrestleMania. Kross has been pulling some strings behind the scenes and really trying to get underneath Sami's skin. I think he's eventually going to make Sami crack. And hell, Sami's probably going to crack here in this match because I think Kevin Owens is going to get the win in this unsanctioned match. Probably hit him with a pile driver. You keep Sami on the shelf for a couple weeks, and then that's when you kind of start that cross rivalry going into WrestleMania, because I think Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are on a collision course. And originally, about probably 8 months or so, probably during SummerSlam season, I was hoping that it would be Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE title at WrestleMania. Obviously, that's not in the cards. So Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, sure, I'll take that. So for me, I got to go with KO to get this, because I agree with what Tony's saying. Even though wins and losses don't matter, KO hasn't been winning that much lately, Tuck.
No. And so there's that dilemma, and because it's unsanctioned, there's much to do after, right? Each guy can have a compelling argument as to why it didn't go their way, and we need to do it again in Vegas, baby.
Do you think this should main event, Ian?
No. Oh, no.
No.
It's the Elimination Chamber. What?
Oh, no.
I guess that's a good point. I kind of was.
What does that do to that title with that star power in that Elimination Chamber?
True.
I was going to say,
do to that title.
Chad was very adamant on this being the main event for some
no.
I disagree. With all due respect.
Yeah, fuck you,
No
Chad.
respect.
We disagree with you. Kind says,
or that.
I think we get Sami winning, unfortunately. Interesting. He said it could be a banger, should main event. See, there's one person saying should main event. What were you going to say?
Well, just touch on that comment. I think the only reason Sami would win is if he went heel and turned heel already.
Or
however,
Karrion Kross like that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't talked about the match yet, so I'm excited about talk about this one. Just really quick, I think this, again, I was saying this could be a long sequence because I think they still have just scratched the surface of what this feud and this, I guess, chapter in their feud against one another can be. There's more to tell, and it's been a short time since Royal Rumble, so I want them to keep going. I think they have a lot of juice behind this feud, especially if this is their last feud together. There's been talks about Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn being done soon. Bill Moss unsanctioned match should mean the end of the feud. We're not playing my GM in WWE, brother. It's okay.
I mean, I agree with him. I think it should be the end of the feud. It's like a Hell in a Cell. What do you follow up with an unsanctioned match? That's what I want to ask you. What are you doing at Mania then?
You don't need to do anything crazy. It's not about the violence of a match. It's about the storytelling of the actual entire feud. There's something to unlock in Sami Zayn's character. If that heel side does come out during this match, there's more to tell about that. If you have Sami Zayn win right away, I think that's kind of a waste of a feud. I think there's more to do about this feud. If you have Kevin Owens win, again, now you have that unlocked side of Sami Zayn. He wants revenge now. He becomes more and more aggressive in it. That feeds into your Karrion Kross idea. I don't know. That's where I'm at.
You're spitting. I mean, once again, it's logical thinking. I just don't think that's the direction that they're going to go in. Similar to, I don't think this will ever happen in the history of WWE. Great Brown Hope said, Sammy loses, turns heel, returns as heel El Generico. They're just not going to go down that route. El Generico's dead. Didn't they
He did
kill
die.
him?
Yeah, he did die.
KO versus Generico. Buried alive match. Karrion Kross would be so proud. You know what, Robbie? I've seen one Inferno match, and I think it was Kane and Bray Wyatt. It was one of my least favorite match stipulations of all time.
That was bad.
It just is not good, you know? And that is true, Tony. I don't know if you guys agree. I really wanted Orton versus Rhodes to happen. But do you think it could happen still in the future?
If you have Rhodes turn heel, I think they're absolutely.
Tuck, what do you think? We're gonna get.
I do. I think it could happen. I don't know how we get there. I still think it's on the table. SummerSlam. Cena. What? I don't know what's happening.
SummerSlam's 2 nights. I keep forgetting about that.
Oh yeah,
expensive boys. Be ready.
I'm ready.
WrestleMania tickets up 2.5 times compared to last year.
Holy hell! And that's probably why they haven't sold out yet. I saw them complaining. They're like, "Oh, is it because of the build?" No, it's because we have to take out a fucking mortgage to go to fucking WrestleMania. Like, I would go in a heartbeat if it was the same price as LA. Because what do we spend in LA, Tuck? Like $800?
$440.
Oh.
For both nights. $220 a ticket per night.
Ian, you could have even done that.
I would have done that. Yeah. Not for $1,000+ now.
No.
I literally can't do that, so I will not be going to a show for a while. Royal Rumble, I got cheap. That was easy.
That's just insane. Wrestling inflation is running wild.
Oh yeah, brother.
You got that right, Doc. Okay, guys, we got one more to talk about. I'm assuming this will be the main event, and it is the men's elimination chamber, where, as you already know, the winner will go on to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, because we already know that Jey Uso will be facing off against Gunther on the other side of things. So in this chamber, you got El Campeon, Damian Priest, Logan Paul, Seth frickin' Rollins, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, and the GOAT, John Cena. Tuck alluded to it earlier. It's a stacked men's chamber. And Tuck, since you said that, I'm just going to go to you first with this one. How we feeling about it, and who's your pick?
Dude, I am still up in the air about this one.
Me too.
I think there's a number of angles you can take. Shout out to Mikey Wilson. John Cena win would equal the amount of most chamber wins, tying Triple H.
Oh,
And so
like
that is not a thing at all, right? Like maybe it happens.
It's not a narrative.
It's a thing to consider. I don't think Triple H would say himself he needed that title, but it is interesting. It's another mark on John Cena's legacy as to rebuilding, making him a credible threat. The most recent Cena has been losing, right? And so on the way, he's on a mission. Punk and Cody could be a thing
for sure.
You know,
sell his soul too.
Yeah, the star power within it. I think I'm going John Cena, because I think they're going to pull the Mania trigger, and they're still going to try to move $1,100 tickets. And so John Cena's last WrestleMania has dollar signs all over it.
Man, I mean, you're right. But didn't you also think John Cena was going to win the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, I'm biting it every moment I can.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't pick Cena the first time around, so that's why I'm like scared to pick Cena for this one. But Ian, I'll let you go first, because I actually have a lot of thoughts on this one, because there's a lot of different ways they can go, obviously, with it.
All right, I'll let you take the bulk of it, because I'll try to be short and sweet. I was long with the women, so let's be short. Priest, I don't think it fits the narrative of him versus Cody. Out. Logan Paul, it would send the fans into a riot, not in a good way. Also, they're hinting at a CM Punk match. I don't know about that. But anyway, eliminated. Seth Rollins, again, kind of that Bailey role, old reliable. Also has a past with Cody's win, so that's enticing. That's number 2 on my power rankings. Drew McIntyre, again, another fun surprise. However, doesn't really fit the narrative. I don't, if he sells his soul, maybe. I could see it. CM Punk. Cody versus Punk. Not on my bingo card, but again, wouldn't complain if I did see it. However, we need a heel there. And Cody selling his soul before Mania? I don't know. Again, Punk selling his soul. Hey, but how would the fans react? Would the fans love heel Punk, or would they hate heel Punk?
That's another
Again,
question.
Kind of worried about that. So let's go with the other old reliable and the GOAT, Cena. I'm going with Cena to win, because Cody versus Cena, again, I'm kind of backtracking, saying you need a heel. It's kind of hinting at what I think we're going to get with Cody here in the near future.
Man, oh man, this one is difficult, because even the chat is kind of all over the place right now, because you can legitimately see, I would say personally, 5 out of these 6 guys winning. The only one that I couldn't see is Damian Priest. That's no disrespect to him. He's just not on the level of everybody else in this match. Let's be real. But when I first saw this match, I saw these 6 participants, I thought Punk. I thought CM Punk, he's got to get his WrestleMania main event. And he would do anything in the world to get it, including selling his soul to the guy that he talked shit about for a decade, The Rock, who's now his boss, ironic enough. That could be compelling in itself. But the reason I can't sit here and confidently say CM Punk is going to win the Elimination Chamber is because he still has that favor. What is that favor? We do not know. Eventually it's going to come to play. Could it be him versus Rollins and Roman? That's what I think it is. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice a little bit. Yeah, I know. I got to get some water here a second. Cena versus Cody is intriguing, but like the Royal Rumble, it was right in your face. They could have gone with Cena. That was the easy pick. I feel like Cena's the easy pick in this match. Drew McIntyre, man, that's the most compelling option in my opinion. If you can have Drew McIntyre win this and also sell his soul to The Rock, and you have Drew run around as that heel corporate champion against Cody Rhodes, that would be money for sure. Logan Paul, that would be a surprise win. Would they do it? Maybe. I don't see it happening, though.
Oh, God, I hope not.
Seth Rollins, it makes sense, but I think Seth Rollins is probably going to face off against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania or in that triple threat. And for Logan Paul, I would like to see Logan Paul face off against AJ Styles. They kind of teased that one a little bit on Monday Night Raw. I think that's the perfect opponent for Logan Paul. So what's my pick? I'm going with the GOAT, John Cena, to win the men's Elimination Chamber match. Yes, it's the obvious pick. Yes, it's the favorite, but Super Cena, babyface, going for the 17th title at WrestleMania is the biggest match that you can build for this year. I mean, you could counter that by saying Rock Roman, which I've always wanted. We're not getting that. Rock said he's not wrestling. I don't see him wrestling at WrestleMania. I think John Cena versus Cody Rhodes is money. Ian called that shot probably 6 months ago, I want to say, on this podcast. So credit where credit is due, because I think that's the direction we're going. Call me biased, Tuck, because I love John Cena, but you can't see me. He's going to the main event.
I agree. I just, I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be kind of fun if Priest wasn't in it and Roman replaced him? Would that not be the ultra mega super duper what?
But what if somebody were to take him out? Like, what if somebody just takes him out backstage during the show? They've done that before.
That would be wild.
Do you think Roman will show up and maybe cost Rollins and Punk?
I don't know. There's something to it.
Or at least
I think
Rollins?
If anybody takes out anybody backstage, I don't know who you'd take out, but it would be The Rock. You don't have to show him doing anything physical.
You just say The Rock took out Damian Priest or whatever, and
we have no.
To find a replacement.
I mean, you could have. I don't know. I thought I had something there, but I didn't. Keep going.
It's okay. It's late. It's what is it? Almost 10 o'clock for you? It's almost bedtime.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm going to bed right after this.
Good to know. Any final thoughts, Tuck, on the Elimination Chamber PLE? Where's the excitement levels at?
Fair. I'm really excited for the men's Elimination Chamber above all.
Yeah. Tim, that could be it. He said Punk's favor is Roman just takes out Seth. Could be the case. Ian, where's your excitement levels for Elimination Chamber?
Well, kind of biased because I'm going to see the boys this weekend, so they're pretty high. Again, that women's match is kind of like, shit, that's going to be a quarter of the matches on this card, so, but I'll give it an 8. I'm excited just for the eliminate. You know what? Honestly, 3 of the 4 of the matches. Yeah, 3 of the 4 of the matches I'm looking forward to.
I think it's going to be in and out, efficient show, clean, probably 3 hours. I'm excited for it. And I'm excited for Saturday, where we're going to be talking about the Elimination Chamber with all of the Main Event Wrestling Network. That is going to be live 2 hours before the Chamber PLE starts. So figure it out where it starts in your time zone. I'm not doing all the configuration for you. Also, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 500 subscribers, where Tucky will give away a Kurt
Angle, yeah.
No. Oh, that's a good shout, though, from Bill Moss. Punk and Rollins to start the Chamber. That's money.
I feel like they're going to delay it and make it the last thing.
And then in the women, maybe do Liv and Bianca, since they had tag beef. Or if Punk? No, it'll be Perez and Bailey. That's my shout for the women.
Yeah.
I like that.
Perez and Bailey would make a lot of sense, and that would tease their WrestleMania match. All right, guys, it's time to find out who the MVM of OTM is. And you know what? Bill Moss was on a hot streak to start off 2025. I believe he was champion for about 4 weeks. Sorry, not 4 months. And then Tim Vicious came into the chat last week. Granted, he's been in the chat for many weeks, but last week he finally overcame all the obstacles and got his first ever MVM title. But the question is, did this man retain? And the answer, he did not, because we have an new MVM of OTM. The doctor is here. He will see you now. Tony, congratulations on becoming the MVM.
Yeah. Active chat. Shout out to the chat as a whole and Tony in specific.
Look at that. And he's already got a statement ready. Oh, he didn't even see it coming. It wasn't his statement. See, you got a follow up from the new champion there, Ian. Ian, your vote didn't matter, but if you were to have a vote, you said it was for yourself.
Yes, I did comment in our private chat. I said, well, now that my vote doesn't matter, I am going to vote for myself. So that's a vote for me.
Always put himself over.
Hey, if nobody else is gonna put you over, put yourself over, brother. I do it all the time. Tuck, you probably haven't had enough time to create a PLA prediction sheet, right?
No, may have time tomorrow. I'm gonna try.
If not, just let me know. We'll get one out there. So make sure you're following us at Pod on the Mark. That is where you're gonna find that prediction sheet. I don't know who's the OTM PLE champion.
I think it's
Three-way.
I was gonna say, I think there's 3
it's the old OTM trio, isn't it?
Yeah.
Me, Tucky, and Erica. Okay, so I gotta defend my title, I guess. Guys, once again, don't forget to follow my brand new show with Jay Gold coming out in 2 weeks on March 11th at NXT Night Shift on X. We will be live after every single episode of NXT. Tucky, it's been a fun one. It was nice to get everybody back together, but why don't you send us home?
Oh, it is a great time to be a wrestling fan. Many things to look forward to, 4 matches and a big segment. So there is a fair amount on the line this
Road to
weekend. And then like 6 weeks of nothing until we where's the Saturday night's main event? Come on. But like no PLEs. So this has to pop off. I'm excited for it, and I'm excited to be on the road to WrestleMania and just hope the ticket prices plummet at the last second, because that weekend is still open on our schedule. We'll see. The SummerSlam tickets did,
Wait, are they not out yet?
No, the SummerSlam tickets when we went were 25% the cost. So we'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, until next time, thank you for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.